Reggie Jackson praises Shohei Ohtani after brief meeting. There's no one that's done what he's done except Babe Ruth. There are some people who, when you earn their respect, it just means something different. In the baseball world, Reggie Jackson aka Mr. October is high on that list. Jackson, who is currently an executive assistant for the Houston Astros, played 21 MLB seasons, won 5 World Series titles and an MVP. Yet even he is in awe of the Angels' Shohei Ohtani. With Los Angeles beginning a series against the Astros Thursday, Jackson spoke to Ohtani before the game, and he came away with the same takeaway as everyone else: Ohtani is one of one in the modern era. He does things no one else can be comparable to, Jackson told reporters, per Mark Berman. You can't compare him to anybody else. You can compare to him a certain hitter. You can compare him to a certain pitcher. There's no one that's done what he's done except Babe Ruth. It's just a marvel. I don't know how you pay him. He's a class act also. Jackson was seen exchanging words with Ohtani before the game. MLB's 30 teams including the Angels would love to have Ohtani on board for 2024. He's to be a free agent after this season, and everything he's doing with the Angels has an undercurrent of what it will take to keep him. He's well on the way to another MVP-caliber season as a unicorn two-way player as the Angels try to get to the playoffs for the first time with him on the roster. Shohei Ohtani contract projection. As Jackson noted, Ohtani isn't comparable to anyone else in baseball. The only player in baseball history who comes close is Babe Ruth, and Ohtani is doing things on the mound and at the plate even Ruth would have trouble wrapping his head around. According to the Los Angeles Times, one MLB executive predicts a 12-year, $600 million deal for Ohtani as he hits the open market, shattering the record for the largest contract in MLB history. That latter point is a footnote, as it is all but an inevitability Ohtani's next contract will break the record for total dollars and likely AAV as well. Ohtani is undoubtedly hoping he can follow Jackson's footsteps to the postseason. Jackson played in 77 playoff games in his illustrious career, but the Angels have come up short of the playoffs every year of Ohtani's career thus far. We'll soon see if Jackson is singing the same tune if Ohtani finally gets to play deep into October.
Great piece on Jimmy Butler, and it was like old school, taking me back to his days at Tyler and JUCO ball. I thought, his perspective of what had happened to him, like not getting D1 offers. No one thought he had really the goods to be a pro. And then he ended up playing for this great coach Marquise at Tyler, and that guy's a legendary JUCO coach. What did it say about him that he could sponge all that stuff at that age and understand what this could mean for him? And then it took him to obviously great heights at Marquette and into the NBA, and we know the rest.
I think the extraordinary story of Jimmy Butler is one of the great stories of my athletic lifetime. To see the circumstances that he came from, having to leave home at 13 because he was asked to leave, and being taken in eventually by a family and shown what a family can be, and being raised around 7 other kids, including Jordan Leslie, who went on to play a little bit in the NFL as well, and to learn the lessons from that, and to become such a solid citizen in high school. It's what I really was writing about was basketball, because that story about his family situation had been written before, but there hadn't been a lot of exploration of how that and how his basketball career started. Usually when you get a player who's a Division I prospect, you don't see them leave junior college after 1 year, because they're in junior college just to get their academics in order, to get their grades in order. And that's okay. I mean, sometimes young people need a little time to get it straightened out, and they go to junior college and they get it fixed up, and they go on and become college graduates and really successful citizens and sometimes successful basketball players. But in his case, he didn't need to be there other than nobody else wanted it. And Tyler, Coach Marquise, did a fabulous job with him. They enabled him to play on the perimeter, which is, of course, what he is certainly as an NBA player at 6'5", 6'6". He's a perimeter guy. But that freed colleges to see what he was capable of doing. And he listened to his coaches at Tyler. He listened to his coaches at Marquette. He learned the lessons of competing against really high-level college players like Jarrell McNeil, Wesley Matthews, Lazar Hayward. He learned, those guys went after him in practice, and he responded to that by working harder, by working as hard as they work, and maybe even a little harder. And that's carried him into the NBA, where he's never been fully appreciated as a player until now. He certainly has been a multi-time All-Star, but you've seen him bounce from team to team to team as he searched in a way for somebody that wanted to win as much as he does.